You know, I'm gonna be real. I didn't expect this to be such a massive, contentious topic in the gaming space today. You see, this week, we're going to be seeing a lot of showcases from PlayStation, Summer Games Fest, and even Xbox as well, of all the brand new games coming out this year and all the future ones that are going to be shown as well for this generation. The problem, though, is people get really hot and heavy and under the collar about this kind of thing. Fanboyism of a brand begins to come out, people get incredibly excited, and the internet begins to get an incredibly insane stir. And it turns out something happened over the weekend that really caused a lot of people, especially on the Xbox side, to have really different opinions and perspectives on what this company should in fact be doing in the gaming space right now. Look, I'll be real. Xbox has made a ton of mistakes over the last couple of years. Hell, the last couple of gens, if you think about it. And things haven't been going well for the brand at all. Even though we've seen around, 30+ million consoles being sold, and the user base of that space as well, not buying games of being more part of Game Pass price increases, Game Pass price decreases, games being removed from Game Pass, and everything else in between. Things really are in a state of flux, not to mention all the massive leadership changes on top of that. So it was incredibly weird to see a lot of people on the internet truly get upset about what I consider to be an actual good thing in the gaming space. And what everybody get upset about? Logos. I'm serious. You see, because according to IGN on Twitter saying this, Microsoft has confirmed it will, quote, continue the precedent by highlighting competing platforms during its upcoming Xbox showcase, but don't expect to hear anything about the next-gen Helix device. Yeah, this apparently is going to be what everybody is in fact angry about, and I'm going to be real. I don't care about logos at the bottom of a title card during a showcase of any brand whatsoever. In fact, I actually prefer if all the logos of where that game is going to be are in fact being shown. Why? Because this happens every single time. You see a game on a showcase that you're kind of interested in, and you only see the logo of that actual brand, whether it's PlayStation, Xbox, or Nintendo. So the first thing you do is you run to Twitter, or you run to YouTube, or you see anything else to see if there's any sort of actual information if that game will be on the platform you play on. And lo and behold, all of these games are on this platform, but they're also on all the other platforms too. Don't worry, we got you covered. And that really is exactly, in my opinion, a waste of my time. I shouldn't have to go running around trying to find that information or see it haphazardly on Twitter. It should be there in the showcase, regardless of whatever platform holder does it. And I'm not sitting here saying that only Xbox should do this. Don't get it twisted. I've always felt like PlayStation should do this as well. Practically every game from Square Enix being shown on a PlayStation State of Play or a showcase, and me having to scramble to their website to see if it'll be available on PC. I shouldn't have to do that. It should just be there. Is it a third-party game going to other platforms too? PlayStation should in fact put the logos there as well, but for some reason they don't, and I think that's what's getting everybody incredibly upset, and really why this is the factor. But let's see what the article had to say and find out why. According to the article by IGN, it says this: Microsoft has confirmed it will continue the precedent by highlighting competing platforms during its upcoming 2026 Xbox showcase, but don't expect to hear anything about the next-gen Helix device. Xbox Chief Content Officer Matt Booty set the stage during an appearance on the official Xbox podcast today. He told players to expect the company to be transparent about what platforms its games are coming to, meaning you'll probably see a PlayStation logo or two pop up when this year's Summer Xbox Showcase happens in June. Quote, "We'll be very clear about what platforms a game is coming to and want to continue the precedent," Booty said. "I think we've got a good system going where we make it clear in Showcase." And that statement alone set the entire internet on fire. People, in fact, lost their minds. And really what I want to do is take a look at both sides. You already see my perspective on the entire thing. I want the logos to, in fact, be there. I don't game on either PlayStation 5 or Xbox. So for me, it's actually beneficial to know if that game is going to be available on the platform that I want to play on, especially when I watch that showcase. And let's be honest about this thing as well. From from my perspective, both PlayStation and Xbox, and even Nintendo in some cases, are third-party publishers. And yes, I've heard the rumor about PlayStation leaving putting games on PC, but the thing is 90% of their entire games library is already on the PC platform, and they're still going to be putting all those live service titles on PC as well. So clearly, they're still a third-party publisher in that space. So in my opinion, trying to act like an ostrich and dig your head in the sand to avoid seeing a logo of a competitor, even though that game is still going to be a third-party game on an entirely different platform, really makes no sense whatsoever. You already know it's going to be on PlayStation. Just because you see the logo, that's why you get upset? That kind of throws me off a little bit. But you know what? I want to see what other people had to say and see if maybe it'll change my mind. Let's find out. Clobrel on Twitter says this: Xbox will continue to show competitive platform logos at upcoming Xbox game showcases. I feel like the bare minimum expectation many had was for Xbox to really focus on their own platform, at least for the time of the showcase. With 477,000 views and almost 5,000 likes. Even though this tweet in fact definitely popped off, it absolutely garnered the attention of a lot of people on the internet, especially on the Xbox side as well. Here's what Asha Sharma had to say too. Asha replied to Clobrel saying this: seeing the feedback on logos, it was a miss and I own it. We are talking about how we adjust for future Xbox shows. Look, I'm going to be real. I still don't see what the real problem is. You're seeing a competitor's storefront logo. Okay, what's the problem? That they don't do it on their side? PlayStation should do it on their side too. If the game is going to Xbox or Steam, they should show it. If the game is going to be on the Switch, they should also show it. Every single person that does a state of play or a showcase should show where those games are going for full transparency. Like I said before, I've already called PlayStation out about this. I shouldn't have to do the exact same thing for Xbox because Xbox fanboys got their feelings in a twist about seeing a competitor's logo. And to me, the more wild part is the fact that Asha Sharma is taking this kind of feedback to heart and seriously. And that's the part that's incredibly concerning to me. You see, the issue is in the gaming space, there are a lot of people that have different perspectives on what video games should be. And there are a lot of people that hate other brands just because they exist and will literally pull on the ear of all these executives who are trying to figure out the right direction to go into in order to provide the best way of servicing their user base, but also increasing it as well and enticing other users to that space. In fact, there's one fantastic video that's directly correlated to this by Chris Wilson, one of the main lead designers of Grinding Gear Games' Path of Exile, and he talked about why you should never survey your players. And I think that's the real issue that Asha Sharma is going to be walking into. If she keeps surveying a lot of their users, we're going to be seeing a lot of answers that may seem like the right idea, but in reality won't be exactly what the business needs or what the user actually needs as well. It'll just be all the wants. And then because they're being surveyed, they're going to have that as an actual expectation. Seeing as how the Xbox Your Voice plan came out, and the first thing everybody talks about is exclusives. But the thing is, there's even more feedback about this too, and I want to see what others had to say. Check this out. Here's Tom Warren on Twitter replying to Asha Sharma saying this: I like the transparency and honesty because the opposite is quite simply ridiculous. As he quote tweets a picture of himself about The Outer Worlds 2, saying this: The Outer Worlds 2 trailer on the PlayStation YouTube channel has to pretend Xbox and PC don't exist, right next to a massive Xbox Game Studios logo. Nervous sweating emoji. Here's Jez Corden saying this: yeah, Xbox showing logos is the right choice. They all should, but PlayStation doesn't do it, so it ends up screwing it up for everyone, lol. Xbox kind of does stuff then ends up getting taken advantage of. Here's Colt Eastwood saying this: Xbox's ecosystem should be priority number one. You're selling across Xbox, consoles, PC, cloud, and handhelds. This logo issue is integral to Xbox growth. Here's Clute on Twitter also saying this: Xbox Showcase needs to be for Xbox fans. You can't win over new fans or keep current fans when promoting you don't need an Xbox at your biggest spotlight of the year. Here's Ryan McCaffrey responding to Asha saying this: "Is doing what Sony does really any more helpful to gamers though? Meaning pretend a game doesn't exist on other platforms on your showcase when in fact it does. Who does that help? Exclusives are another matter, but if it's multi-platform, why try to convince anyone otherwise?" So we've seen two different perspectives already. Some wanting the logos to be there from PS5 and other places, some that don't want the logos to be there. But I really want to highlight this response to Ryan McCaffrey by Clobrel and see what you guys think. Clobrel responds to Ryan McCaffrey saying this: "No matter if we talk about exclusives or logos or showcases, it always comes down to this. Xbox does not exist in this industry in isolation. None of these decisions will make or break Xbox on their own. Yet each of these decisions, seen individually, can give the impression that Xbox has no interest in actually competing on a platform level today. No player on Xbox wants to have exclusive games just for the sake of having exclusives. If you invested money into Xbox, you want to be part of a platform that competes, that puts you as a customer first, a platform that is healthy and ideally grows. Exclusives are only a tool to achieve that. Not showing the logos of your competitors for anyone other than Xbox is the most normal thing ever. It has been for decades. It's a proven marketing concept because Sony and Nintendo have a very strong desire to protect their brand and platform. Can this be annoying after the next state of play? Yes, maybe, but Sony has zero obligations to anyone other than their customers on PlayStation or those who will want to join their ecosystem. This industry will be better with an Xbox that is hungry for competition, something that quite honestly got lost with Xbox trying to be full third party and a platform holder at the same time these last few years. Every other industry ever shows that competition results in a better experience for everyone. This is the Xbox many fans want to see." You know, the more I see these responses, the more I see these tweets of people wanting the logos to not be there of the competitors, one thing keeps coming up into my mind, and it's the fact that it's not about the logos, it's about the fact that PlayStation doesn't do the exact same thing. And I think that's really what the issue is. I think people are seeing Xbox put logos of PS5 or competing platforms on their space as sort of like them bending the knee to every other corporation. And I can see the frustration in that side as well. However, at the same time, I feel like PlayStation should also be putting logos of Xbox or Steam or PC or what have you on their side as well when doing their state of plays and showcases. You could make the argument that this does devalue Xbox and it brings people down because when you think about it, any simple normie that looks at a showcase for whatever particular reason or says, "Oh, this game is coming to PS5, they don't know anything else about the industry, they'll just go and get a PS5. Even though that is anecdotal, I have seen people do that on their own because some people aren't very bright at all. But the thing is, by doing that, I don't feel you're going to be getting 10 or 20 million Xboxes being sold by removing the PS5 logo, seeing as how we always see news articles, tweets, and everything else show up online not a few minutes after that showcase is over that, hey, those games are coming to our platform too. We saw PlayStation do it, we saw Xbox do it as well. And what this sounds like to me is not really about wanting Xbox to compete. What this sounds like to me is a more emotional argument, an argument of people saying, hey, why are you doing this when your competitors don't? It's not really a good response as to a big reason as to why there shouldn't be logos there, but it is an emotional one, and people put a lot of emotion behind video games. Granted, I do, and I completely see why. It's a great hobby and I love it very much. And I would hate for my platform, like on PC, to all of a sudden not get video games because of a fucking logo on a showcase. And going back to that emotional argument, I think a lot of things are combining into one space because of this. It is Xbox's 25th anniversary after all, and showing a PlayStation logo during that anniversary of that showcase is exactly what people really don't want to see. They want the showcase to be all about Xbox, and I can definitely admit to that. Sure, yeah, you want to see them celebrate 25 years in the industry to show games that are coming out for that device, and that would be pretty cool. But here's the thing though, if if that was the case, then I think Xbox should have done that. I think the showcase should have been just games coming out on the Windows and Xbox platform. And I think that would have been a bigger overall draw, rather than trying to go through and sort of like do this half-step thing where you're a third-party publisher, then you're pretending not to be one by not putting logos, but in reality, that's exactly what you are. Even if the games were smaller in scope, or just indie games, or games that Xbox themselves funded, I think that would have been a better overall look than just trying to slap every other game in the space and put it on there with the logo instead. I think what this showcase should have been would be to say, hey, look, we've got all these other games coming later on down the year, but let's take a look at what's going to be happening on Xbox right now. Talk about more with backwards compatibility, show the games coming from there, talk more about what's happening on the Windows space, and then even some Project Helix stuff as well, just to be a little bit of a teaser on that. I know he didn't say they're going to be any more of it, but hey, it would be nice. And then just showcase games coming to Game Pass, coming to the platform, and that would be good overall. Look at all these games coming to our place, not you showing them they're going to be going everywhere else because you're publishing them, just showing that games are going to be on your platform instead. And I think that would have been a better look and would have given people a lot more emotional stability on that spot as well. But in the end, in my opinion, all of this is in fact just logos, and the games are going to be across every platform. And I think that's really what people are in fact missing. They want Xbox to compete, but then in my mind, they're not really doing anything different. All they're doing is just whiting out whatever logo they don't like, but the reality is the game still hits that platform. So in my opinion, what's worse? Being told the truth and taking the bitter pill, or being lied to and finding out the truth later on? I don't know. Personally, me, I'd rather know up front. But you know what? I want to hear what you guys got to say about this in the comment section down below. Do you want the logos there? Do you not want them there? Or are you someone who just simply doesn't care and just wants to see the good video games? I want to hear what you got to say. Oh, and if you're watching this right now, I'm probably also streaming. Come on down and hang out. Trust me, it's a hell of a lot of fun right here on this channel. With all that being said, though, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.